What's up, guys? So we have arenas. We have a new 3v3 mode. We're getting ranked in the coming months. So I'm sure all of you want to know all the strats, the tips, and want to be winning more consistently. So with that, this guide, I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks and strategies for how to win more, whether as a solo or as a trio. So remember to watch it through the whole thing. Remember to drop a like, a comment, subscribe if you even enjoy it, and don't forget the live streams. But we will dive deep into all this. Hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get straight into it. Let's talk about who are the best legends for arenas. I do have a video where I talk about that, so I'll probably have a card somewhere here. But let's talk about, so we're going to have defensive legends. Out of the defensive legends, I would only recommend Rampart, because if your team plays around your walls and allows you to actually set Sheila up the rounds that you have and you have good positioning, she can be very strong versus like a Watson or Caustic. I don't really recommend them. Also, you do have to buy their walls or their gas traps or their fences, so that can kind of just be a nuisance compared to other legends. Next, we're going to have like Bangalore. Bangalore is a team that people really make strategies completely around her smoke. Knowing that the digi sites are very expensive to get, pushing and basing your team strategy around the smoke is a good strategy that, unless the team really figures out what's going on and how to counter it, it can be very strong. Going ahead, you have a legend like Jibby. Jibby's Dome is good for resets, allowing you guys to heal back up and kind of put a pause on the fight if you guys can, because most teams won't want to jump into that bubble fight. You have a legend like Wraith, whose tactical going into the void can be very good when, she can push up, take a 1v1, maybe get the knock or do a lot of damage and then queue back, allow her to heal, maybe have another teammate push and finish the fight. So that is really her strength. You have a legend like Valkyrie, whose jets are very good. Since it's her passive, she can go for free literally anywhere, move around. She has really good movement, and her rockets are fairly cheap, and she always at least has one. So she's a very good legend for a lot of movement. Moving along, if you like Mirage can be a little cheeky. If he can work. Mainly his strength is getting gold bag and getting those quiet reses. You have another legend like Bloodhound, so for teams that maybe don't communicate very well, being able to give your teammates a lot of knowledge can allow you guys just in a fight. Moving along to someone like Loba, allows you to really hoard a lot of meds, take the care package weapons, and just really give your team all the resources and take them away from the other people. So that's very good for her. And probably the strongest legend is Lifeline, since all her abilities really play into arenas, whether it's the care package giving you a bat and bats and a blue weapon, or her drone res, or her drone healing very fast. So those are a lot of the legends, and there's a few more that could, but not really. These are really the stronger legends. Octane could even sort of work, but his abilities are counterintuitive to low resources. So those are really the better legends that I would suggest to you guys. Another thing that I quickly want to point out is something called holding your angles. Some of you that may have played Valorant or CSGO, you know how quick the time to kill is. You know how fast you die. But you know that it's a lot of really holding the angle, playing the edge of a wall, waiting for someone to either come in front, and you're holding that because behind you is safe, but this person might come and you have to beam them. You need to be able, when you're taking these 3v3s, and maybe you're taking a 1v1 and you see someone's out of position, you need to always make sure that your back, your side is covered. You don't ever want to let yourself be exposed. This is, again, good for the VR mode and for the arena mode. When you're trying to beam someone and you're focusing someone down, you want to make sure that there's cover here. If you know that you are here, you're here, and the other team is coming from over here, you want to make sure that you are holding some type of cover so that if someone comes, behind you over here, this, the side of you is covered. You do not want your side, when you're shooting this way, you don't want him to be able to see you from over here. So if he tries to get an angle over here, you're shooting this way, your back is covered so he can't flank and they can't both get you. Little things like that, holding your angles, being able to stay behind cover when you're shooting, can allow you to obviously give you an extra few seconds before that person spins around to get the knock or get the push. So it's little things like that, being able to take advantage of that split second that the team is repositioning or moving or shifting or not ready. So it's really about like playing slow, holding your angles, and being able to keep yourself alive and keeping yourself from wasting all your meds, since this is also a mode with limited meds. What I want to talk about is this mode. This 3v3 mode is very heavy on communications, or being able to recognize what's going on around you, having very good game sense. This mode is all about your game sense, knowing what you're doing, knowing where your teammate is, where the other team is, and what angles you can take. So I want to talk about how you can communicate. So if obviously none of you have mics, you can only ping. That's all you can do, and that is gonna get you as far as it gets you in the other modes, you know. But if you guys can communicate, you guys need to call out, you know, where are the 3 people. You know it's only 3 of them, unless someone, you know, rage quits. But you know where they are. You need to call out exactly where all 3 of them are. You need to, you know, if they have guns and you can tell what gun they have, call it out. So maybe if it's a Spitfire, you know, you maybe have to take a little cover while they're shooting because they're going to shoot longer. Or if they have a long range gun, you know, you have to close the distance before you can fight them. So all those are like very good things to point out, as well as obviously recognizing the legends and their abilities and where they are on the map and where you are on the map and where you want to push. Recognize, you know, is someone split away from their team so you can either take a 1v2 over here, knock them out, and now you're in a 3v2. Those are different things that you need to do. Does your teammate need batteries and you just grab the loot bin? You know, do you have 4 shield bats, your teammate has 1, they just got cracked, can you give them a shield battery, you know? Sharing meds around is very important, so being able to communicate that you need meds is also very important, as well as just positioning, being able to pay attention to where the teams are, because you know it's 3, you don't have to really worry about your back, and just staying together as a group and moving as a unit. Communication, being a tight-knit group, and being able to push and recognize when is the correct time to push and fight as a team is extremely important in this. So that is really what encompasses, I think, communication and the real, you know, real high level stuff that will also translate to the BR. This communication is not just in arenas. This communication is in a 3v3 fight, but then this scales up in the BR mode as well. So this is also great practice for that, but that is the type of level of communication that you guys kind of need. So now from here, let's really break down the gun meta. So first of all, I want you guys to pick guns you're very comfortable with. I want you guys to pick guns that you can output damage, because that's what this mode is. You need to get knocks and you need to get them fast. You need to be able to hit your shots. So don't get cute. Pick guns you're really good with. So that should be the priority. Second of all, let's talk about, you know, what guns should you pick. And really, it's whatever guns are really good in the BR for the most part are going to be good in arenas, you know. So whether it is the Wingman, R301, R9, Spitfire, Hemlock, Scout, Bowcheck, those and more are very good guns that you should get if you're comfortable and they're some of your favorite guns and you do damage with them. Use it. There are other options like the L-Star, which is an interesting development just because it's very cheap. So just keep an eye out for that. Also pay attention to what map you're on. Some maps are better for longer range weapons. Some arenas maps are better for short to mid-range guns. So, you know, adjust accordingly. Also, remember to, you know, evolve after every round. Are you guys taking way too much damage from long range weapons? Well, maybe, you know, switch your short range gun out for a longer range weapon so you can also put pressure on them. So make sure to evolve your strategies as you go and switch your guns. Don't be afraid to change it up. And the last part of this that I want to leave you guys is make sure once you buy that first gun and you upgrade that, spend your credits either on that gun or meds and your abilities. Your secondary should probably not get upgraded unless you just have a ton of points. And your secondary should almost always be the Mozambique. There are 2 guns that are 0 credits, and that is the P20 and the Mozam. If you do not pick a second gun, the game will automatically choose one, and you do not want the P20. The Mozam is much better as a closer, as a short range gun. So keep that in mind. That's really the gun meta in arenas. Now I want to dive into kind of just basic strategies, little tips that I found from playing, and just in general movement, positioning, and stuff. So first I want to talk about kind of like where do we go when the game starts. So I think either your team should, you know, go to where the zone is. So like if the zone's on the left, your team should probably start going into zone. You want to, if it's one of the maps that has like a high point, you should probably go and immediately take it, because the zone's just going to close on that high point. And if the team's on the bottom, you're just at a height advantage. That's just how the fights in Apex work, you know? So you want to do that, and you want to obviously stay together. But if you guys want to get the loot, like call it out that someone goes, have them watch over you, and then bring the loot back. And if you're like, hey, I don't have a battery, share the wealth of the resources. You don't want to have one teammate that has everything and it doesn't give anything out, and then there's like a teammate that could have used it. So being able to share the wealth is very good. Like I said, communication, being able to figure out where the team is, be able to figure out, you know, if one guy's apart from the other one, go ape them, you know? And just strategies as the game develops. Don't be scared, like I said earlier, don't be scared to change guns if they're using different, like if they're using long range guns on you and you keep picking short range, make your team switch out to longer range guns to counteract, to be able to close the distance, do some damage, put pressure on them. Because it can be very easy to get frustrated of they're using scouts and you're using, you know, an R301 or a flatline and it doesn't work. So make sure your strategy as these games evolve, you know, if you get down 1 or 2 matches, like you're not out of it. You can make a comeback. All it takes is you guys regrouping, changing up your strategies. You know, if you guys keep going left, go right. If you guys keep, you know, hitting this point and losing this style of fight, try and take a different angle. Have maybe one of your teammates flank around, hit them from the back. Turn their attention both ways, you know. Remember that the strategies can change as this goes, you know. You're gonna get against the teams that play a certain way, that play their legends and have this one way of attacking. I know I've found teams that use Bangalore smoke and they just push through Bangalore smoke. That's how they want to beat you. They Bangalore smoke you and then they push in, and you have to counteract that with either you get digis, you get Bloodhound. You know, if you have Bloodhound, you can use the scans. So you try and buy the digis. You get enough crafting points for that, so you guys can now be ready for that. You know, if they have a Watson, you make sure to break the generator. So there's a lot of evolving strategies, and you guys always have to be thinking, you know, if you lose one match, it's not the end of the game. You have to lose. They have to win 3, and there has to be the division of 2, you know? So you can always come back. So make sure your strategies are evolving as a game, and learn. You can lose one, but then you figure out that that's the only strategy they have. And once you beat it, then they're done. You guys got it. So make sure you guys always thinking, trying to big brain it. That's what I got for you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, leave a comment below with the guns, the legends. Are you guys enjoying arenas? Let me know if you guys are even enjoying arena. Are you playing? Are you excited for ranked? Let me know down below. Make sure, like I said, like and subscribe. Remember to stop by the live streams. I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a great rest of your day.